Hi, I'm Ken McNaughton, Inland Northwest Wildlife Council, one of the board members, and I'm chair of the fishing committee. What we're going to show you this morning is the basics of how to pour lead jigs for fishing. You need to start off with some lead. You need a pot to melt it in. You need a way to organize the different size, weights, and styles of jigs. You need a supply of bare hooks that are designed specifically for jigs, and molds. And I've created this little rack over here specifically for letting the jig cool and before I paint it, and then after painting it'll dry on these lines here. So to get started, for demonstration purposes, I've already loaded the jig molds with the hooks. The lead is already hot, and each mold, when you close it, has a hole that you're going to pour the molten lead into. We have the nice little lever here. All it takes is a little bit. After you've given it a minute or so to cool, you can open up the jig and they will just fall right out. Then after it's cooled off, take a pair of side angle pliers here and I'll cut the excess lead off the top. I'll do one with one of these Erie jigs. And once you cut the excess off the top, you can always use it to put back into the pot for future molds. Now you still have a rough surface there from the cut, and I take a little piece of sandpaper and I just sand it off till it's smooth. And it looks like the jigs you find in the store. Now we're ready to paint. Because you use a heat gun, I would suggest using a pair of needle nose pliers to hold onto it. We'll get two paint colors here ready to go. They come in a variety of colors. I use the Protect powder paint. And the goal here is to get the jig hot enough when the lead becomes more shiny than it is now. It'll be ready to go. And then basically while it's hot, you just dip it in the powder. Shake off the excess and hit it with the heat just one more time. And then hang it on the rack with the others. Well, once they're cooled off, I'll demonstrate here with this one. Take the tip of the jig, and if you're using a power grub like this, anything that has a curl on it, you want to make sure that when your jig is done being placed into it, that the tail is still in the upward position. You'll find from the molding process of these plastics, though, you'll find a little seam on the body, and I just start by threading the hooks right through the front, following that line made by the molding process, and then curl it so the finished product comes out like this. There's the hook, there's the tail, and a lot of times during the painting process, sometimes the eye hole for the line is plugged, and you just take a quick little punching tool here, and now it's ready to put line in. After you've already threaded a line through your eyelets on your rod, take the end of your fishing rod. Now if you're out there on the edge of the water, there's probably lots of ways to do it. I usually take it by just tucking the rod under my arm. And you just tie these directly onto the head. And I give it a little twist a few times, and you take the end of your line right through that loop created there. Pull it tight, there's your knot, and it's ready to go. We have the annual Kids Fishing Day, sponsored by the Department of Fish and Game and our organization, as well as others like the Fly Fishers and the Walleye Club. We all volunteer together because it takes a lot of volunteers. We get a little over 1,000 kids out at Clear Lake at the military resort, and we provide, our organization specifically provides all the fishing rods for the kids. 2-3 weeks ahead of time, we will have a big old party in here. People, just volunteers coming from Les Schwab and all these other volunteer organizations. And we put together all those fishing rods. We put a snelled hook on there for them with a swivel, split shot, and a bobber. Pack it back up in a box, and then we haul it all out to the lake the day before. It starts on Friday. We take care of the Ronald McDonald kids on Friday afternoon. They get the first shot at all those fish. And then Saturday morning, in heats, different stages of 45 minutes each, I believe, you get 1,000 kids from starting at 8 o'clock in the morning till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you can go to the Fish and Game website each year and you can register your kids online. And each kid gets, take that fishing rod home with whatever tackle it was on it, as well as a t-shirt from Fish and Game. It's all a really good project, and it's all to get the kids involved. And they get to keep the fish. They have the choice to keep the fish or donate it to the food bank. There's 2 different cleaning stations there. One is for the kids who are going to keep it, and the other one is the cleaning station that's going to take the fish to the food bank. It's really rewarding for volunteers like us. We get to see the smiles on it. That's worth it all.